In 2017, you started going through some of the most difficult times in your life. Your wife at the time asked for a divorce. You guys were married for like 6 years. What was your reaction when that situation happened?
I was floored, bro. I didn't expect it. I mean, I knew things weren't always great, but I just thought that, yo, you this is what you do. It's marriage. You work this thing out. You fight, you push through, and that's what we were gonna do. But she had other plans, and that's what she hit me with at the time. I didn't expect it, bro. I didn't think it was an option. For me, divorce is not an option. So I was like, nah, this don't happen like this. You work this out. You fight. I was raising her daughter as my own. And yeah, we kind of weren't established where we had property, but working towards it. And just yeah, I got hit with that out the blue. And yeah, I was floored.
Were you strong? I mean, was she strong in her faith
Nah,
too?
she wasn't. So
Okay.
yeah, she
Because I was wondering, because that's like a divorce has a big stigma, in religion a lot of times.
yeah, and then
So that's
she
why.
she already had a divorce under her belt. So before being a believer, really, and then with me, it was always kind of while we were married, I discovered that I kind of like fell for the best foot forward. Also, let me not even play her. I wasn't fully developed and mature and grown in my faith, so my standards weren't as high. And I'm not talking about standards as far as looks or the quality of person, but in her walk with God. I didn't even know what it looked like to be super mature yet. So why would I want somebody super mature? The thing is, it's like, okay, we were both probably even level, and I kept growing and she stood the same level. So that's even like a conflict for her. I don't think it was in her cards to marry a minister. You know what I'm saying? Somebody traveling that does ministry. She just thought, okay, a rapper, and you're gonna do some Christian rapping, and we'll go to church sometimes. I think there's also like, people watching what she does now. Like, yo, you're a wife of a minister, so you need to have this character. Um, and I think she just like probably ain't want that lifestyle. She connected with her ex, and I guess something was going on behind the scenes, and she decided to go back that way. So that's what she did.
So, like, how long were you guys dating before you guys got married, though? Like, didn't you guys never had those kind of conversations or anything?
Yeah,
Like,
we were dating we got married exactly the day we made 3 years going out. So
wow.
we were married, we were dating 3 years, got married. I moved to Florida, and we had also we it was hard to have those conversations. I just say this. Okay, we were dating. She lived in Jersey. In the middle of us dating, she had left the state of Florida without the consent of her baby father. So she
Right.
was in Florida. She got married. She had a baby. She left without his consent. I meet her over there. We kicking it for like 2 years, and then she had to move back because he won visitation rights. So when she moved back, we're doing the long distance thing, and now your relationship is phone, and then when you can see each other. So I really can't gauge where she's at spiritually. And then, to be honest, it's not even a priority to gauge where she's at spiritually. I want to just be with her. You know what I'm saying? We don't get to see each other. We used to be with each other every day. And then but now with our time apart, I'm growing, she's not. So I'm not even probably asking those questions. I'm just happy to see her when I do, happy to talk to her when I do. So then when we get married, it's like I married a different person, a completely different person, a more angry person, a more like something was up, and I don't know what happened, but this is what I chose, and I had to walk it out. So the marriage wasn't the best at all times, for most of the time, but like I said, divorce wasn't an option, and we'll figure this thing out. That was my mindset. That's what I thought.
Did you guys try counseling during that time to try to
Yeah, It's something that she didn't want to do. I wanted to, she didn't. So I got counseling myself, and she didn't.
Got you.
Yeah.
So, I bring this up because it's like in all of that despair, it inspired your album Hell in the Hallway, right?
Yeah.
And it was like it started as an EP, but it became a full-on album. And in this project, you basically share things that you would be hesitant to even share with friends in a normal conversation, but you felt like this was important for people to hear. You put your heart and soul into it, thinking that people could relate, could make a difference for somebody. How uncomfortable was that experience like for you to divulge all of that personal information out there like that?
Um, it was uncomfortable at times, but I always would kind of like bury the uncomfortable feeling with knowing that this was gonna help someone. And then also a little part of it was a little selfish too. I wanted to, like the Bible says, don't allow anyone to speak evil of your good. And then it also says that a good name is better than silver and gold. So if there's one thing I want to be intentional about is I don't want no one to speak ill of my faith, of Christ, because of how I represent. You know what I'm saying? So the foul part is when you see a divorce, we automatically say, "What did he do?" You know what I'm saying? What did he do? Um, I'm sure that he gave her some reason. Now, I'm not saying that I was the perfect husband, but I showed up, I provided, I did the damn thing. I absolutely did the damn thing. I'm gonna boast on that. I'm gonna die on that hill. I raised her daughter like she was mine, loved her like my own. I showed up, I provided, whatever. So I know that that was what some people were thinking. What did he do? Did he tour too much? And I'm pretty sure that's the narrative she ran with to save face. Um, I but they don't see that when I would go on tour, instead of pocketing all the bread, I would fly my butt home in between, spending hella dough, bro, to do that. You know what I'm saying? To be back home so I could walk the dog, so I could take her daughter to school. So, stuff like that. And then go back, hit the road on a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, come back. So if I just would have stood on the road, I would have kept mad paper, bro. Um, I made the album because it was multi-layered. I did one song, and the song was just for me to vent. It's the title track, "Hell in the Hallway." I played it for a
Mhm.
friend that was going through the same thing, and this he's a G. He's a G, gangster, and he was crying like a baby. He said, "Yo, twin, you need to put this out. They need to hear this." So when I put it out and I saw how impactful it was, I was like, "Yo, Imma turn this into an album," because there's a lot of things I would like to say, um, and to build people up, and it also kinda like, the little selfish motive in it was like, y'all also gonna know that even though I didn't buy, I didn't s I nowhere on the album did I say she committed adultery, had an affair, I didn't say that, but, I allude to it in a sense. You know if you listening. But I just wanted to know, I wanted people to know, yo, it's also like, man, this is how you deal with pain. This is also the dedication you're supposed to have in a marriage. Like, yo, you don't just back away, and back out. You fight for that mug. So yeah, it was multi-layered as far as motive. But the main thing was just edifying people, and it did, bro. It really did.
How difficult was that for you during what? Because you're like having a relationship with her daughter too, like for the span of the whole relationship, right? Of you got your guys' marriage, you guys' dating and everything. So her daughter pretty much became like your daughter.
Absolutely. I called her my daughter. And the plan was to stay in touch with her. I took her out once. I came, I picked her up, brought her out like she was my daughter. And as soon as the single, The Hell in the Hallway, dropped, and with the video, of course, she weaponized her kid. She told me off and then was like, "You'll never see my daughter again." And I never got to see the kid again. So it was the divorce was hurtful because, okay, I lost a wife, and then I lost my daughter, and then also my in-laws that I love very much. Still to this day, love them. Um, Lost them all. So it was that was the part that hurt the most.
I think that people a lot of times they don't look at that. They mainly focus on just like the two main people. They don't think about the innocent bystanders. You know what I mean?
Mm.
The what is it?
The children, the in-laws, yeah, yeah. The and then the nieces and nephews, like, yo, they all call me Theo, like I was their uncle, and
Right.
just a lot of people. Um, and so it was a lot of mourning, and it wasn't just the marriage. I knew the marriage wasn't good. I'm not just saying that because it's in hindsight. As a matter of fact, there was a part of me that is kind of relief. Like, all right, I don't have to fight to make this work anymore. The next thing will work. I want something that works, not something that I have to. When you're living every day in a loveless marriage, it sucks. So, but the pain of losing her daughter and all of that, I had to mourn a bunch of people and move on.
And I think that I like the way that you use that word mourn, right? Because a lot of times people use that word only when like someone passes away, but mourning can be something even when someone doesn't die, but
Mm.
technically it's like you lose it from your life,
Yeah.
right? You know what I mean? It's no longer a part of what you knew life to be.
The Bible says that God makes two become one. So I see it as like, when you got like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, bro, and you got, when if you were to separate both, you still got some jelly on the peanut butter and some peanut butter on the jelly. And it takes a while to like, yo, it's pried apart. The bread isn't the same. The bread might break up. So I see it like that. It is like a literal death. And that's how it felt at the time, and then you have to deal with getting some of that residue off of you, you know what I'm saying? Um, yeah, it was it's definitely a mourning experience. You do feel like a literal death. Something happened.
You know, the stuff that you guys enjoy doing together, the stuff that the person introduced you to, right? Certain music, movies, whatever experiences. It's when you come across those things, it's tied to that person a lot of times. It's a reminder. You know what I
Mm.
mean? Like and it's like there's a lot of layers to it, like you say.
Yeah, 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 a lot of layers. It was a
Yeah.
tough time, bro, but I will go through it a million times over.
Now, you spoke about you were receiving counseling during that time because your ex-wife refused for couples counseling, right? What did you learn about yourself from going through that experience of counseling?
Um, I learned that so I can err on the side of always being vocal, confrontational, wanting to have conversations right away, and always like that, macho, like, yo, you not gonna play me, you not gonna step all over me. Like, so I would try to be patient, but then when the disrespect would continue, I wouldn't make things better. I would just blow up like, "Yo, who you talking to like that?" It never got violent from my end, but like, "Yo, who you talking to like that?" So that doesn't bring any resolve. So what I learned is like, yo, to be the punching bag sometimes. It's not a dude, beating me up, but it was my wife at the time. So yo, I sometimes be the punching bag. Like try to be a model of what I claim to believe, model this faith, be merciful, be gracious, and those things I learned. And I though they weren't effective there, it's something that I took with me, and it's why my marriage now is so successful. I would say, like, I have a great marriage, and a lot of those techniques, so to speak, I learned from conflict resolution over there. I bought it here, and it's the reason why my wife and I are married 6 years, and we don't blow up. We've never disrespected each other. It's cool, you know?
Man, shout out to your current wife and everything,
Mhm.
and that's a beautiful thing, you know.
Truth.
Um I guess what I was asking is like the type of counseling you were receiving, was it more about how to make your relationship with your ex-wife at that time better, or was it about like exploring some of like the things that you've been through in life that make you the way that you are?
Well, it was like single couples, so since she wasn't there, so it was more focused on that. instead of like digging up deep, you know, I guess with the information that I shared, what was told to me and suggested to me is just like, yeah, don't be so quick to want to have to always get your point across, to explain, to like, yo, if they're not listening right now, fall the heck back and just like let it go. Learn to let some things go. And and it was like a short session. I didn't have the paper to keep going back. It was really short, bro. Like 4 or 5 sessions. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I learned. That's what I took from that joint.
One of the common themes I hear you talk about is patience and anger is something that has been difficult for you, challenging for you throughout your life, right? Like you was never really the type to take ish from anybody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Has becoming a Christian really helped you with that?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I could still, bro, there's chinks in my armor. So sometimes it's like, yo, I lose my patience. Um, it just especially pisses me off when I know they not like that. And you're only doing it because you think you can get away with it because I'm a Christian. That type of stuff pissed me off. But it's just like, yo, I've learned how to hold my tongue a lot more, let stuff slide, not throw hands right away. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah, for sure, man. It's we're work in progress, bro.
Yeah, yeah. And the work never
Trying to
stops.
become better.
Yeah, work never
Yeah.
stops, bro.